was exciting. I was young and I was looking for trouble, and it was thrilling. Not anymore at this age, but it was thrilling to have an entire crowd turn on you.
What is that like in the moment?
Excuse me. Hi, what brings you here?
I just want to say I think you guys shred, but this place has been here long farther before you have, and people have been moshing here for a long time.
Yeah, but it's been co-opted by MTV, commercial music.
Well, why the do you think we watched MTV when most of us can't even afford cable, you idiot?
Can't afford cable? Where'd you get those braces?
You're intoxicated with the potential violence, I suppose.
Are you scared?
You are, but you're so... Well, myself, I was just so excited by the whole thing.
This story begins in the Great White North, around 1986. More specifically, Portage la Prairie, a small city located in the province of Manitoba. Two friends, Chris Hanna and George Samoleski, had spent their time listening to metal music. Eventually, the two decided to form their own thrash band. If you don't know what thrash is, it sounds something like this. They recruited their bassist, Scott Hopper of Global Genocide, via a poster in a record shop. And with that, Propagandhi was formed. 3 years later, Hooper would leave the band and be replaced by Mike Braumeister, or as he was nicknamed, Stinky Mike.
Stinky Mike, whose actual name was Mike Braumeister, he was our second bass player. Scott Hopper was our first bass player, but Scott never played a show with us. So Stinky Mike Braumeister, was our first real live bass player.
With Mike, the band began recording rehearsals, demos, and playing live. Mike would also bring Chris and George to parties. Eventually, on August 14th of 1991, they would open for legendary DC post-hardcore band Fugazi for only $6. The newfound success also led to an opening spot for California skate punk band NoFX in 1992.
Hi, this is Toyota Kawasaki, and we're standing backstage live with NoFX.
During the set, Propagandhi played a cover of Cheap Trick's I Want You to Want Me.
I want you to want me.
That performance, along with the band's second demo, was enough to convince Fat Mike to sign them. However, Fat Mike wouldn't have the money for another year as he was already producing a 7-inch for Lagwagon. During the period between this interaction with Fat Mike and their signing, Stinky Mike would leave the band to be replaced by John K. Sampson. Eventually, Fat Mike flew Propagandhi out to LA to record their first full-length LP over the course of about a week. In what one may consider a sign, the band spotted Oilers player Wayne Gretzky at the airport.
I'm Wayne Gretzky.
After this, they recorded How to Clean Everything, which would be a defining album for the skate punk genre.
How f***ing hard is it to be a racist, sexist, or a homophobe in a racist, sexist, and homophobic society? It's not hard. So anyone who thinks it's f***ing rebellious or radical to run around spouting off f***ing things about homosexuals or minorities or anything, you're f***ed.
After the band's debut record, they felt they needed to change their sound, feeling unsatisfied with the skate punk sound on How to Clean Everything. It also didn't help that more politically charged songs, such as Pigs Will Pay, didn't make it on the album. As a result, the band amassed a part of their fan base they rejected, the members of the California scene who brought a homophobic macho attitude to their mosh pits. The band made it a goal to make their intentions clear on the next record and to weed out the bigots in their fan base. With that came Less Talk More Rock in 1996. On the border of the cover read animal friendly, anti-fascist, gay positive, and pro-feminist. As for the cover's effectiveness, as well as the assertive political lyrics, their plan worked. Their record sales dropped significantly, but with that, they had a more niche audience. Their sound progressed too, with more pop-punk sensibilities in the same vein as Canadian band Red Fisher, as well as hardcore and indie elements. The result was a heavier record with matured lyrics and an even more precise sound in mind. Shortly after the record's release, however, bassist John K. Sampson would leave the band to explore different musical endeavors with the indie project The Weaker Thans. Between the release of Less Talk and Propagandhi's next record, Hanna and Samoleski would recruit Todd Kowalski of hardcore band I Spy and grindcore band Swallowing Shit. Chris and Jord would then form the G7 Welcoming Committee and release The Weaker Than's first record, as well as Where Quantity is Job Number 1, a compilation album with Propagandhi's demos and live songs. It wasn't until May of 2000 that the band would begin recording their next record, Today's Empires, Tomorrow's Ashes. The album would suffer multiple delays due to the band's practice space being flooded and Sam Oleski breaking his foot playing hockey. Recording didn't wrap until August of the same year, and the record would finally be released on February 6 of 2001, with the album's name coming from American political activist Mumia Abu-Jamal. The album was their fastest and loudest to date, moving away from the poppier ideas on Let's Talk More Rock and going full-on melodic hardcore with the addition of Todd Kowalski. The riffs too became more complex in the vein of thrash metal riffing. Although the chaotic energy of Today's Empires wouldn't last throughout their entire discography, this was a game-changing album for the band as it really established their sound going forward. Their next record, Potemkin City Limits, would keep the hardcore energy going up until the release of Supporting Cast, when the band started moving towards a more metal sound. As of now, their latest records are Victory Lap, released on September 29th of 2017, and At Peace, released on May 2nd of this year. Propagandhi proves to be a timeless band, with lyrics that remain relevant even in modern times, much to the band's chagrin. They proved to be more than a music ensemble, as their introspective lyrics made listeners think and learn something new in a world of Blink-182s and Offsprings. Propagandhi is more than a band. They're a political statement, and as long as social conflict and inequality remains, they'll be there to write about it.
Better than that mirror so seductively off your tongue. Your reckoning has begun.